Grand Risings. Things are going well with my brokerage license. I'm 2/3 of the way done. Say it with me now. 2/3, 66%. So by the time my birthday rolls around, I'll have it complete. By the time I'm 25, I'll be a broker. Go ahead and pat myself on the back for taking care of that accomplishment. One thing I have noticed when I'm talking to other agents or talking to other people is there's this sense of, oh, you're going to be a broker. Well, these are the reasons why I decided I wouldn't want to be a broker. I wouldn't want to, like, blah, 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 like liability, such and such. But the main thing about it is that, like, being a broker or being able to be a broker is something that gives you more power. It's supposed to give you more power in the eyes of the other agents. And that's all it is. As far as like hiring agents or putting agents on the team, you can do that with or without a brokerage license. And I've done it several times. The main thing that really comes to it is having it in here that, hey, look, if I'm firing an agent, I'm gonna fire an agent and I'm gonna bring on another agent. Because I've done several business enterprises where the agents that I had selected for the team came down to it were not a good fit for the team. So what I should have done in that case was already have had some contacts that I had been talking with about starting the team. Those would have been my advisors. And as well as having some contracts with the team members. And if they didn't work out or if we had differences of ideologies, beliefs, fire them. As well as having my own policy and procedures manual in place to ensure that whatever the conduct is in the business, those are the performance standards that I'm adhering to. This is where the bar is. We're not going below the bar. If you go above the bar, great. If you go below the bar, I'm letting you go. And it wouldn't be a personal thing. So in the past few months, I've actually had those realizations, and I knew that as the business was failing, that these type of things the reasons why it failed would eventually reveal themselves over time, which is why whenever you do have a business failure, it will take some time for you to really figure out or come to an understanding of what was it that you didn't have at the time or you thought incorrectly at the time. And for me, it was, I started a business with my friends without having any business sense of having a contract, even though it was a business. They were my friends for the business, so I should have had a contract. So that was a main lesson that I really just realized over a year and a half later, which is regardless of whether or not you are friends, always have a contract. Always have a contract. I was learning that lesson those years ago. So anyways, I'm making sure that I go and meet my broker at the property I'm doing a flip at. So when I get over to the property, I'll be sure to do some video content of the flip. We're doing a little walkthrough before we wrap everything up with this flip. I wanted to introduce my broker to my investor I'm working with. And in that way, there's a synergy of sorts. So that's the business for the day. As far as like continuing to work on my brokerage license, the flip, those things are progressing. On a personal aspect, I am going to a concert today at let's see here where the concert's at. Cadence Bank Amphitheater, Chastain Park. Let's see who's performing. Lonnie. Lonnie Keshi, Alana Springsteen. So I'll be putting this on my meetup group. You guys be sure to get a ticket. The other thing I've been thinking about is me and my cousin are on the same page. However, I need to bring on another person, a third person who's on the same page as us, as me. So that way, I have a good community of people. And I honestly feel as if my communication skills are best done in groups of 3, at least. 2 is fine, but if I was to like be a leader of 3 people, it would be more tactical. It would be more of a real expression of my identity. And that in that way, my identity is more solid, more structured. It's more structured like a box, because it's not just one person's idea or 2 person's idea. It's 3 people. That's 3's a crowd. I can learn from his mistake. He can learn from my mistake. And I can learn from him giving advice to him and him making a mistake. So I can learn in that way as well. Where there's, not only am I learning from the mistakes of people who took my advice, mistakes are learning from me. So that's why it's important to actually not do things alone. Like for instance, any other business I start or any other endeavor I start, I'm not going to do it alone. Like when I start going to the gym, I'm going to need to have 2 gym buddies. At least 1 gym buddy and a trainer. But if I have 2 gym buddies and a trainer, it makes a world of difference in my progress, in the way I feel about myself, in the challenge, because we can challenge each other, and just in the community, because we can talk to each other, pump each other up, motivate each other to get in the gym every day for 5 days a week. And that's where the real progress is made in about 6 months to a year. And I know other people out there saying, oh, you can do it by yourself. You can do XYZ by yourself. Of course you can do it by yourself. The idea is you can do more together. You can get there together and have done more, and those results are lasting. So, you guys know what the plan is. You know what I'm working on. Brokerage license, the flip. I'll be getting some more insurances. I got my health insurance. And I'm working on my book. So I got a couple different projects going on. Got 2-3 projects going on right now. And yeah, once I finish the book, it's got over 500 terms. I'll set up a website for it. And I'll get a couple of copies of editions made. It'll be a quality edition, leather bound, gold inlay. And yeah. So let me see here. I'm looking at, make sure I go back and look at my notes. These are my goals for the year. I have them set up like a plan, like plan AG. Goal, establish brokerage 18 months. So by July 9th of 2022, establish a brokerage. Goal AD, talk to a lawyer and accountant once a week. Goal AC, file taxes. And the point with these goals is to finish them, do them. And I set a lot of goals, honestly. I set a lot of goals. However, goal T, 2 full-time employees engaged in transaction supervision, clerical support, and other administrative services. I imagine those would be, not I imagine, but in my reality, they would be virtual assistants. Goal, credit score, 710. I even have a couple of action steps to do. Goal, business credit, 50,000 to 100,000. So many of these goals, goal, recruit 3 team members. So as I'm continually hitting these goals or moving towards these goals, I'm getting more experiences, and I'm making sure I don't deviate from my action plans. Like it's right here, it says action plan. So that way I know what it is I'm doing. One thing I have realized is I set a large amounts of goals. The second one being to obtain my brokerage license. I'm behind schedule. So when you don't hit your goals and you still desire those goals, reset the goal, reset the time frame, go back and double down, and make sure to just keep the goal top of mind. Have your to-do list there, and have other people who keep you accountable for your goals. So right now I don't have any, well, right now I'm recruiting people who are going to help me stay accountable. If you want to be one of those people, join put your info in the comment section. On another matter, I'm looking to pick up some more properties sometime in the future, next year. And one thing I have noticed, I was talking with a lender, I didn't notice this, but I learned this from a lender, was that lenders want to see you have 6 months of reserves for a property. Let's say the monthly payment is $1,000. 6 months of reserves is $6,000. Now, for most lenders, they want to see that that is somewhere liquid. So I asked if can I use a credit card? I said secured credit card. And they said, no, you can't use a secured credit card. My strategy behind the credit card was that I could pull equity out of one of my properties, put it on a secured credit card. The secured credit card, with the amount I would put on the secured credit card, like $50,000, would boost my credit score up past the minimums. And what I mean by that is to get like the higher credit scores, part of it is just having a high credit limit, and $50,000 is where it would need to be considered a high credit limit. Anything below that and your credit score won't be as high as it should be or you want it to be. However, talked with the lender and he said the money can be in a brokerage account. So that means the liquid funds can be in a stock account, which is great because I'll be spending some more time learning the trade and putting time into my trading. So with that being said, the money will be in the brokerage account and I'll be able to practice my trading skills so that I have the money there. The only conflict I have is some of these goals are sales goals when it comes to my real estate. So as I'm putting time into the brokerage account and increasing that, I'll have to take time and say I failed on some goals when it comes to the my agenda. For instance, like the real estate sales. Those goals have not been hit or finished. So it depends on if I'm going to, it's just like a decision. Like, am I going to give the goal up or am I going to finish it? Like, for instance, one of these goals is, here it is, $720,000 in transactions by the end of this year. And that would have brought in $280,000 in commissions. See, I'm nowhere. This is what my other goals hinge on. Why? Think about Agent Wilson. Why that goal isn't finished yet. Other than that, I'll be at the property and I'll be making sure I get some breakfast before I go over there. Farewell.